Russo Italiano sponsors Boxing Bros UK.
It's showtime!
Hello everybody, this is Boxing Bros UK. I am the boss Chris. This is my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain.
Here we are again. Let's go.
So today, what's the press conference called again? I forgot the title of it.
Heavy Impact, which I really like. I think it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Heavy Impact.
April the 5th. Remember that date. Be a good one, I think.
To be honest, this is a great opening card for on the zone.
Yeah. Well, I've already got the title, Chris. I'll see what you think. Unless you don't like it, obviously let me know. But none of these fights going the distance, Chris.
Yeah. It's true.
Other than maybe the Delicious Ori's making his debut, so you never know. Debuts can be a bit cagier. Yeah, but that's the only one where we're not too sure about, really. But
I don't really know much about him. What is he a good amateur? I'll be honest with you, I don't know nothing about Delicious.
I only knew I watched the presser today, and I knew a little bit of him. I think Josh had mentioned him a little bit, and he's older than what I thought. I believe he's in his late 20s or thereabouts. He's a Commonwealth gold medalist, decent amateur, looks the part. Chris looks great, 6'5", 6'6", looks in good. He was talking with Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley's 6'5", and he looked about an inch or two taller. So. Big fella, good looking. We'll find out on April the 5th whether he can punch a bit. So with those 10-ounce gloves, mate. So he's meant to be a hot prospect, but we shall see.
You know what? It's another one. Frank Warren signed another prospect heavyweight. Come on, Eddie Hearn. Don't you like us English guys no more? Don't you like us English guys no more? You don't want to sign no English prospects.
It's unbelievable, like Riakpore moving up, obviously getting that Okolie, Fabio Wardley on the stable. He's even got, oh God, I shouldn't be bringing news, this isn't. Anthony Yard has gone back with Frank Warren. Have you seen this? They've worked out a deal. He's going back over to Queensbury. So he's just pinching everyone, getting everyone back.
He's a man. Like Frank Warren, it's like in Godfather. You know, when everyone thinks that the Corleone family are finished, and then right at the end, they just kill everybody and take over everything.
That's just for Frank Don Corleone Warren, or Al Capone. Frank Al Capone Warren.
Just you thought he was probably thinking, I'll let you guys think you're doing well for a year or two, and then I'm going to come back with a vengeance, and I'm going to run the whole show. Because Riakpore is a boxer fighter, Ben Shalom fighter. So there's quite a few. Yeah, Riakpore's a Ben Shalom fighter. So
yes.
Is he out of contract and is he signed with Frank Warren now? I'd really like to know the ins and outs of that, to be honest.
We know, Chris, that Ben Shalom hates his fighters being on anything other than a Sky Sports show. So
yeah,
what's going on here? First one on DAZN for the new Riyadh season. So here we go. Well, I don't know.
If anyone's seen the interviews, I'm going to check them out myself. Has Riakpore signed with Frank Warren now in Queensbury, or is Ben Shalom doing something that he's never done before in his life and looking out for his fighters and letting them go and fight on another show and get paid well for it?
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to have a look at what's going on there. And with boxing at the moment, things are moving all the time, changing, new contracts, relinquishing contracts, moving over here, We got bloody day jobs to run, you know. And we come in here, guys, and we try and give you our but you know, we can't be on top of everything. So if anyone can help us out, maybe let us know what's going on there.
Right, let's get to it.
Where should we start? Other than Ori, we don't know too much about Delicious Ori, but we'll obviously mention him. He's out. So the first one, Chris.
Go on.
We'll go from the bottom up. David Adeley, 13-1. Obviously, lost the Fabio Wardley British title. Good win against Dacres last time out. Against Jamie TKV, who's got one loss on his record, 8 fights. He got, to be fair, that loss, he had a cut eye. He was stopped because of a cut eye. To look, only saw not much of him really to sort of look at. Don't really know much about him. I don't really expect anything other than
Who got stopped for a cut eye? Who got TKO?
Jamie, yeah, TKV. Jamie TKV.
Who was he fighting?
He was fighting a guy called Macedo. Lost by TKO to a guy called a Brazilian guy who's about 18-1, but again, his record ain't much to kind of look at. But he suffered a cut on his eye, I think. So I was looking at that and I thought, wow, these things happen in boxing. Hasn't really fought anyone. David Adeley's a massive step up for him, Chris.
For sure.
Do we give TK? Obviously, we know in the heavyweight division, Chris. I know it's a cliche. I know it's boring before everyone calls us out, but it only takes one shot from these big guys. But do you see anything other than a sort of Adeley ticket over win here, or?
It's one of these. The thing that makes it worse for me is like these guys. They're ex-sparring partners. They know each other very, very well. They're mates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I can see it because they're mates. Like they're just gonna have like a little bit of a move around. You know, sometimes like when people are a bit over friendly, they have a move around for a bit, and then Adeley's gonna take him out. That's what I think.
Yeah,
but it's gonna go about 3 rounds.
I know there was a little bit of back and forth between them, and that was the other thing I was going to mention. Actually, overall, Chris, I was just saying this to you before, and they're like, just generally sometimes with these pressers, and we've been to a few now, and even the big one we went to, Dubois Parker and Baturbia Bivol, they're very low energy up there, and I know they wanted to kind of save stuff for the fight. I get that, but if it wasn't for Dillian Whyte, this presser, then it would have been an absolute snooze fest to watch. I mean, Okolie and riakpore, no real. They're supposed to build this beef between them. You wouldn't know it the way they were talking. And David Adeley and TKV was a little bit of, oh, I like you, you know, basically, you know, saying that they were each other's mates. You're going to knock each other out. And, yeah, it was very, very low key, wasn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But what about next? Okolie riakpore. Is that one next?
So Okolie next year. Okolie 21-1. We know he's one loss. riakpore 17-1. We know he's lost. This is a bit of a 50-50 for me, really, because Okolie's still an unknown quantity at heavyweight, Chris. Although we know he can punt. You can't really go by that Mohammed win at all. Still looked big. Don't know how much of that weight he's lost. riakpore's first fight going up to heavyweight absolutely stank the place out against CBS last time out. Could you help me out here, Chris? Because on this one, I've got no idea how it's going to go. I actually respect Okolie for taking this fight because I think this is quite dangerous for Okolie. I would say 60-40 in Okolie's favour, maybe. What do you think?
I don't know because
I'd
just say 50-50 because we don't really know what Okolie's like at heavyweight because if he knocked that guy out, but he didn't look good. He looked good for a casual on the eye because he knocked him out, and he knocked him out in quick fashion. But if you analyse his performance, number one, out of shape. He looked soft around the middle. He looked fat. He's never looked fat in his life. He looked clumsy. Like he's falling into his shots a little bit. He looked a bit. He didn't look good to me on the eye. That for me, Okolie did not look good in that. He aesthetic, like as our boxing analyst, he didn't look like this is the next heavyweight guy. He didn't look like that to me. It just looked like here's just a heavyweight who just knocked someone out. Who, if you didn't know that he was a world champion at cruiserweight, you won't fucking know him at all. Do you know what I mean? Like the way he world champion. Yeah, there was no bells and whistles for me. And on the riakpore, we don't know what he's going to be like at heavyweight because his last performance at cruiserweight, he underperformed. So we might be able to put that down to maybe 60-40 in Okolie because riakpore hasn't fought at heavyweight at all. And he might be shit. It might be, heavyweight might be just too big for him, not enough punch resistance, not enough strength. It could be all wrong. But on the other hand, it could be the reason why he was so shit in his last fight that he was a bit weight drained. And
yeah, that's where I was coming from.
Yeah.
Decent analysis there. You've helped me out a little bit because I was thinking this is 50-50 written all over it for me. But both big guys are both about 6'5", so they were fucking hell. They got down to cruiserweight as well because I mean Okolie's got that wilder sort of wiry musculature, didn't he? You know, he would lean but sort of muscular. Riakpore's was more of a kind of solid, thicker cruiserweight. But I don't know how those guys got down to sort of 15 stone, you know, I'm just under 15 stone. Fuck knows of that height. I mean, crikey O'Reilly. I mean, I'm 6'4". No. I struggle getting down to 16.5 stone, let alone 15. So, but on what you said, I think you're right. The worry I have with Okolie, he's talking a good game at heavyweight. He's more comfortable. He can eat what he wants. He's carrying the weight. Still got the speed. Okay, I understand that. But against the good guys, against as he starts to fight people inside that top 10, some of them, you know, a Cabiel maybe who's going to move him around, hit him to the body, give him different angles, different things to think about. How's that gas tank going to be if he comes in 18, 19 stone, Chris? That's my worry. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, so, that's that one. One thing I'd like to say about the needle, I want to see a bit more from these guys because obviously riakpore, he's a good-looking chap, isn't he? He was doing some modelling. And he got caught. There was a story about him giving Madonna an old snooch.
He's got a good story. He nearly died from a knife attack, didn't he? I don't know if you were aware of this.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
I believe so, yeah. I believe he was involved in some, you know, I think we can sort of safely say he spoke about himself. He was involved in gangs and he almost died, I believe. He's got a big... you'll see a scar when he fights. He's got a big scar down his chest here, I think it is. So he's got quite an interesting...
Kill him.
Yeah. But he's very laid back, Chris, isn't he?
Yeah, it's quite funny, actually, that a guy from like that kind of lifestyle is now a professional athlete and he's a model. And he was snogging Madonna. And obviously, Okolie took the piss out of him and said, Madonna's old now, isn't she? Isn't she about 70? And he lost his shit. Because he was mugging him off about grabbing a granny while he's working, snogging Madonna. Sorry, and he couldn't handle it. But then, for me...
In his defence, mate, carry on.
So I would have liked him to then, like, you disrespected me, so I stuck it on you. I don't give a shit. Not to sit there and be like, yeah, my mum told me off, and I'm really sorry for that. I wish I didn't do it. Like, nah, this is what boxing's about. He stepped to you, he mugged you off in front of everyone, so you stuck it on him. That's how it is. That you're a fighter. That's what you're supposed to do. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Why are you apologising to anyone for it?
Like you said, hopefully we'll see a little bit more leading up to April the 5th and the weigh-ins and the press and another press conference leading up to it, which I'm sure they'll do. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more. And the last one, Chris, I suppose we want to. It was a bit this kind of saved the first thing I was going to say. Like, I don't know. I think once you've been zhanged by the big Chinese power, you're never the same man again. And Jake Joyce is he's never, because if you look at pre-Zhanged Chinese powers, right? His best wins were against Dubois and Parker. I mean they are fantastic wins,
sure.
You know. And then post Zhang, he looks Well, he's been cracked, isn't he? Like that jaw he's been dining on is just like and Dillian Whyte was sort of taking the piss out of him on that. It's like it was said something like, and I'm paraphrasing, like, Joe, mate, at least like put your hands up and move your head a bit, son. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not going to have a long career doing that, but that's what he does. He waits for the other guy to punch himself out.
It goes like this. Do you know?
Just, you know what? Straight lines.
Yeah. So it goes like this, or sometimes it stands there like this, like a Muay Thai guy, thinking that he's going to parry. And like, do you know when Ali used to say that George Foreman was the mummy, and he doesn't have any skill. He just goes like this. That's what Joe Joyce is. Joe Joyce is the mummy. He is the mummy. He just walks forward like that.
Anyone with 5 hands, and I'm not allowed to actually disclose any of this information, but all I'm going to say is I've seen some sparring footage against younger heavyweights with quick hands. That's all I'll say. And I don't even think Joyce saw the punches coming, let alone be able to get out of the way of them. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And Dillian Whyte, he saved the presser. I forgot how much I love Whyte's personality. He's very, very funny. He don't take no shit. He makes it exciting. And he's not like, like Jerome Miller's just an arsehole. Like, he just talks shit for talking shit sometimes. And sometimes he's not funny. He's just like over the top disrespectful. Like, he says things that Dillian Whyte's just actually comical. Like when he was saying to, he's like, Joe, mate, he says, he says, I respect you as a fighter, but you're fucking boring. He says, you speak, you can't even, you have to wait 15 seconds before you answer because you don't even know what to say.
Oh, brilliant. Do you know what though, Chris? Do you know what? He did sort of get Joe out of his shell a little bit. And Joe said, look, I've always been like this, even when I was younger. And obviously any concussions and after being gilet janged has not helped his processing power in terms of the RAM in his brain. I don't think that's what it was. But he did sort of get him out his shell a little bit. And that was one of the better press conferences I've seen with Big Joe, because normally he just says 1-2 word answers and that's it. So it was a bit better.
And even then when he said, I've been like this since school days, he went, what, you can't even find your way home when you was at school?
Yeah. Because he was talking about when you're older. The fact that he takes so much punishment, he's going to end up sitting in the wrong house and going, what am I doing here?
And like Dillian Whyte was witty. Even when Dev Sani did his shit staring thing, and he grabbed Lawrence Okolie, he said, yeah, bro, what the fuck was that about, releasing sparring footage? And Okolie was like, I'm sorry about that. I just, win or lose, I'd like to fight Dillian. I respect him as a fighter. His arse went. If that was me and I was a fighter, just to sell it, I'd push Dillian Whyte and start fighting with him because it's going to get split up. Just cause a bit of drama. Because Dillian Whyte grabbed hold of it. He grabbed him like that and said, yes, what was that about? I know it was all playful and it might have been, but I don't think it was rehearsed. I think when Dev Sani said that, because Dillian Whyte is a proper, I don't like to use the slang like a roadman, but he's from that life, yeah? So I think Dillian Whyte, in his head, he thought, oh yeah, I forgot he disrespected me, bang. And it was a reflex. I better do something just to show that I'm the daddy on this table. And grabbed him. And then Okolie just...
There's one way to solve that, and that's the winner, that if he beats Riakpore and Dillian Whyte beats Joe Joyce, that has to be the next fight. That's the only way to solve that, isn't it?
Yeah. For sure. But I think Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora are going to be fighting on a Riyadh season card, I do. And I think we're going to be... If Dillian Whyte beats Joe Joyce.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because that's the thing with it. And I was just quickly going to say, I'm glad Okolie and Ortiz is not out there. I don't think that was a good move. So, yeah, because we covered that a little while ago.
Terrible fight. We did say this fight, though, didn't we? We did say this as one of the options. Fight Dylan Whyte.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least he's like, hey, what are you fighting old man for?
As we kind of round up, because we've given a sort of our brief early predict, it's not going to be until April, but a couple of months yet. I think that Dillian Whyte, looking at Dillian Whyte's, we always say in boxing, Chris, don't we? You can only judge a fighter on his last performance. We're going on last performances. Joe Joyce did have some success against Chisora. He did have his moments. Dillian Whyte looked terrible against the 62-year-old Tete. So this, for me, is also a 50-50. I think a lot of people are going to lean to Whyte, but I don't know so much. I think this is a pick 'em fight, this one.
Yeah, I'm going to. For me, early predictions, just because I like Dylan Whyte, I'm going Dylan, the villain, the body snatcher, Whyte. That's what I'm going for the win.
Yeah.
Because Joe Joyce don't throw any uppercuts, does he? Joe Joyce don't throw uppercuts, so he should be all right.
He don't like uppercuts. Yeah, he's not very good at stopping the uppercuts, is Dillian Whyte. But I think if you forced me before we end the video now, who you held me at gunpoint and said I'd probably go with a Dillian Whyte win late stoppage. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if Joyce stopped Whyte either. So yeah, there we are.
All right, and that's it from us. Boxing Bros UK. Like and subscribe. Beautiful.